There are a few things that I like to make every single year at Christmas time. I always have a few children with me who get excited to take part in some of these traditional things that we like to bake. One of them is sourdough gingerbread cookies. Today I'm making them with whole grain. Now ideally it would be soft white wheat, but the reason I'm using hard white today, I simply forgot. I went to measure my grains after they were through the mill. I thought, oh, this should have been soft white. But that's okay because the kitchen is very forgiving, especially when it comes to whole grains. Now this recipe is over on my blog, farmhouseonboone.com. It is a family favorite for us. I just used the gram measurement that is on the website, but substituted it with whole grains. I like to measure before it goes through the mill. That way it goes directly in the bowl. No need to measure anything else. And I can even start adding other ingredients to the bowl while it's milling. So a lot of times it's like a little race. I try to get the baking soda, baking powder, whatever dry ingredients the recipe calls for, cinnamon, ginger, salt, depending on the recipe, while it's still milling. And then I add the rest of the ingredients. Now with sourdough cookies, it's best to put them in the refrigerator to ferment slowly. This allows for the flavors to develop, for a bit of the sourdough benefits to happen to the grains, but still keeping the dough nice and cold, because when you roll out cookies, that is what is best. I do this for all of my Christmas time baking, and it works great because you can also work ahead of time. All year long, I do my best to source high quality ingredients for our pantry, but especially this time of year with all of the Christmas baking that's coming up. I want to make sure that I'm stocked with all my favorite organic staples. That's why I want to say thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. Now today, December 1st, Thrive Market is having their one-day only Cyber Monday sale where you can get 30% off of top brands and favorites. I'm going to be stocking up on all of my favorite pantry essentials for baking this month and the things we love for the months ahead as well. Members can stock up on top products from brands like Larabar, Seven Sundays, Molly Suds, and more. I love that on the Thrive Market website, you can sort by dietary preference. So if you are paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, you can make it to where you only see those items. It makes for a very streamlined shopping experience. I have certain staple items that I get on Thrive Market all the time. Things like organic brown sugar, even avocado oil fried chips for days out when I just want to take a loaf of sourdough bread, some meat. I round it out with high quality snacks from Thrive Market. I also like to get organic flour, vanilla, sugar, marinara sauce, seasonings, avocado oil, coconut oil. There are so many things that are such a great price over on Thrive Market that I take care to have plenty of in my kitchen so that I'm always left plenty of options to make a from scratch meal or snack. Since I order from Thrive Market so often, it's a very streamlined shopping experience. I get on, I see all the things that I normally buy, add them to my cart, plus orders over $49 ship for free right to your door. So in this busy time of year, having these high quality ingredients showing up makes life a little easier, a little bit more convenient. Thrive Market vets every product that is on their website, so you can be sure that it is free from things that you're trying to avoid for a healthier kitchen. So you can skip reading labels and second guessing everything. Today is your last chance to shop Thrive's 30% off Cyber Monday sale. Plus, when you join today using my link, thrivemarket.com/farmhouseonboone, you'll get an extra 30% off your order plus a free gift. So if you've been wanting to check out Thrive Market, there has never been a better time to do so. I'll also leave it linked in the description box below. After we put little faces on our gingerbread men, our toddler was scared of them, which is funny because he's the kind of kid who gets a little bit afraid of a lot of things. Maybe it's from having so many older siblings that tend to want to tease him because it's kind of funny. But he did not want to eat the gingerbread cookies. Everybody else loved them. I like to make a royal icing with actual meringue instead of meringue powder. The reason for that is because I never have meringue powder. I do have the meringue powder version over on the website, and it'd be a wise thing to keep on hand. But if you don't, like me, but you do always have eggs on hand, this version is so easy and it's really sticky, great for making designs on gingerbread cookies, or if you even want to attempt a homemade gingerbread house. We've done that in the past. I don't think I have it in me this year. Your entire kitchen will be coated with sugar and stickiness. It is a fun memory though. I think this year we might just stick with the kits, but we have done that where you cut out each and every piece. This icing makes a wonderful glue. So I separate the egg whites from the yolks. I did 2 egg whites for my gingerbread cookies and we had plenty of icing. We had icing to spare. Whip it up until it becomes very stiff. So it has those stiff peaks. This is really easy with a hand mixer. I just recently got one of these because I always use my KitchenAid mixer. Well, it bit the dust and I don't need a mixer really for anything else in my kitchen. So I decided just to get a hand mixer. It worked so quickly for meringue. I then added enough powdered sugar until it felt sticky enough to make nice designs on my gingerbread cookies. I didn't learn to make meringue until I was an adult. For so many years, every single Sunday, we would go over to my husband's grandma's house after church, and she made a big old Sunday dinner. A lot of times that included a pie that was topped with meringue. And she told me that if you get even a drop of yolk into your egg whites, that it won't fluff up into a meringue. And so I've always taken that advice. If a little tiny bit of yolk gets into my egg whites, I just start over, save it in a jar, make them for breakfast tomorrow morning because I want a nice, stiff, fluffy meringue for the tops of pies and for making this sticky, gluey, wonderful to decorate with royal icing. There are a few things that come to mind for something to bring when we're invited to a Christmas party. And one of those is a sourdough cinnamon star. They're beautiful, they're delicious, they're easy to share because of how they're cut, and I love making them several times every year. Another, in case you're wondering, is a newish recipe on the website, the pumpkin cheesecake. I'm not making one today, but I do want to tell you about it because I have been making it over and over again. I sort of had it in my head that cheesecakes are difficult to bake. They're not. They're actually super simple, in some ways easier than making cookies because you're just making one thing. It's not a lot of individual shaping and rolling. So if you haven't yet made the pumpkin cheesecake over on farmhouseonboone.com, go and check that out. For this cinnamon star, we're actually doing a brand new blog post that is dedicated specifically to the cinnamon star. But before that, I just always used the cinnamon roll recipe over on the website. Of course, I am swapping whole grains. I'm doing hard white wheat berries. You can do a quick version in the morning where after soaking all your dough the day before, you add baking powder, baking soda, and salt and knead it in. Those additional leaveners make it to where you don't really need a lot of time for a second rise. If you have plenty of time on that second rise, you can also just allow the sourdough to do its work to make the dough rise. I made my dough ahead of time, adding in the flour, the starter, the water, honey, and oil. I let that ferment overnight. Then I stashed it in the refrigerator because I wasn't ready to make it right away, which you can totally do. It makes this recipe very forgiving, very adaptable to your schedule, then when you're ready to actually make this, you can get that dough out of the refrigerator and either add baking powder and baking soda and knead it all in, or give it a lot of extra time to rise. Today I'm doing the quicker version, quicker after I made this several days ago, but quicker this morning. So one recipe of the sourdough cinnamon rolls yields 2 cinnamon stars. I divided the dough into 8 equal pieces, rolled them out almost like pizza dough, and then create 4 layers with the cinnamon sugar filling in between. After that, it is just a lot of cutting and twisting. It's actually really simple, but it looks impressive and beautiful. One year I picked up some bakery boxes, made a bunch of these, and put them in the box with some ribbons and decor. It really makes for a wonderful Christmas gift because nobody is adding any clutter to their home. And who doesn't love a freshly baked sourdough baked good, especially when it's sweetened with brown sugar and spicy cinnamon. Adding whole grain also makes it super healthy. I did this in 100% whole grain. Some things benefit from a little bit of all-purpose flour, but this is not one of them. It truly tastes delicious and rises beautifully with whole grain alone. I like to brush the top of it with a bit of cream. This gives it a nice golden color. It will rise quite a bit during baking. To serve, each person can just pull off one of the segments. It is definitely a crowd pleaser. My family ate this so fast. I hope that you are having a beautiful Christmas season. May it be simple, and may there be plenty of time in your kitchen to make some of these wonderful flavors of the season, to make memories and create peace and joy in your home.